I think people think that we just take people's horses, and that's not at all how the process actually is. It's, goes through the system. It's not just, hey, we think that horse out there is a little skinny, we're just going to come take it. We provide a lot of owner assistance. For instance, if you lose your job, you can call us and we'll provide temporary feed and hay for your horses for up to 2 months through one of our programs called Helping Hoof. And we also provide just community awareness. We provide castration clinics, vaccination clinics, things like that, because we want to make sure that those horses do stay in their homes. So it's not just about taking them, it's about providing knowledge to the owners. So I started working here in 2011, and my mom and I started volunteering together. We were kind of in a rocky road in our mother-daughter relationship, so when we started here, we truly really started to bond. And I remember vividly when, after my orientation, I stepped foot on that beautiful green grass out at the barn, and I was like, this is where I'm called to be.
So last year I was actually a part of a trainers challenge called Rally for the Rescues, and that's where local trainers actually are able to pick a horse from a rescue and train that horse for about 120 days. And I was actually one that chose a horse from here. Her name was Stella. She was a cute little buckskin Mustang. She was a lot more than what I thought she was going to be, but it worked out great. And that mare really opened my eyes to how traumatized a horse can be mentally from physical abuse and starvation. And I was able to really help this mare, and she was really able to help me. And during that time, I was able to see Horse Haven invest in this horse, show up at the competition, support her through the whole thing. Volunteers had her shirts on. I mean, it was just the coolest thing to me to see a rescue not just put into a horse here in the barn, but continue to put into a horse at a competition and outside. So I actually ended up adopting that Mustang because I just love her to death. So seeing Horse Haven really be that invested in horses and stand by their mission, I'm just so honored to be able to be a part of an organization like this.
So the role of Horse Haven is to be an equine welfare rescue organization for the equine across the entire state of Tennessee. When we get a call, we typically get a call from law enforcement, and they're the ones that cite the owners, and they call us in to bring the horses in. So they're the ones handling the owners, and if they get cited and charged, and we come and bring the horses in, and we hold them here for evidence for the courts if they are to get cited. So we spend a lot of time tracking their weight, tracking their health, anything and everything. We also have to show that just plain Jane regular feeds can help put weight on the horses. Like, we're not using fancy products, because we want to show that the typical owner can go to Tractor Supply and grab a normal type feed and put weight on their horses.
It'd be kind of cool to see a horse walk by. Can we get out of the frame for that? Yeah, I think that'd be cool. So my job here at Horse Haven of Tennessee is to ensure that all the horses are properly taken care of, from their nutrients all the way to their training. When we first get a horse into Horse Haven of Tennessee, we'll do an evaluation just to see kind of where they're at mentally and physically. One of our biggest priorities here is to make sure that a horse not only is strong physically, but also mentally. That's a really big factor. I really want to make sure that these horses thrive outside of these barn doors for a lifetime, not just for a small season. So what we'll do is we'll get the horse in here. I'll do an evaluation that just consists of basic ground manners, see if they respond, see how they are, and kind of see where they're at as far as resenting people or if they're still mentally broken, and how I can help that horse overcome their past. Then what we'll do is we'll get a solid game plan down, and then we actually have a program where I help educate these volunteers to train these horses. So the volunteers are actually learning how to properly train these horses and help these horses go from broken to strong and thriving.
It's given me an outlet, it's given me a peace of mind, and all the things that are going on right now has been, it's a good place to come. And we have friends on our team, so it's been good. I've always been involved with people in my career and stuff like that, and that allows me to continue that in addition to building bonds with horses that we bring in, because sometimes they're here for a short period of time and other times they are here for quite long periods of time. But then, you know, we get to do training with them also, so that by the time they're adopted, it's a good period of time.
No, not yet. Because I can't really. I know you wanted to see what. Oh, yeah. And when you decide what color you want, just let us know.
Okay.
We can do that, yeah.
Who did the painting that you had in your hand earlier? I don't know. They usually write them on the back.
Gotcha. I can't remember who that was, but.
Well, we'll know this one is Little Baylor.
It's bad.
That are this is Baylor's first time, so she's a little gun shy at first to kind of figure out what stuff is, but she's actually a really cool mule. We have just enjoyed the time that she's been with us, and if you look close. So we are here today with one of our volunteers, Jerry Cable. She is a part of our Painting Ponies Art Club. We started this art club in 2020 after COVID hit, and we had to cancel a lot of our fundraisers, and this became a way that we could still do fundraising and involve our volunteers and our horses. And now, not only do we have horses, but we have mules that are, this is Baylor's first time, so she's a little gun shy at first to kind of figure out what stuff is, but she's actually a really cool mule. There's little Baylor. She's finished. Good job, Baylor. And she did a great job. So we're going to do another one here with Jerry. Previously, we started out with a paintbrush, and the horses did okay with it. But then we moved to putting the paint directly on their muzzles, and they did really well with that. But this project... The order is supposed to be Jonah, Charm, and then Ray.
I think my all-time favorite thing about Horse Haven so far is the investment in horses and their volunteers. They're not the kind of organization that just gets a horse in here, feeds them, move along. They invest in the horse for a long-term success, as well as our volunteers. We host classes, we do clinics, we're bringing in workshops to educate volunteers in the community about proper horse care, proper horse training, and the horses as well. So I guess that's two of my favorite things, is their investment to the horses in the community.